Are
got
we
the
a
wrong
little?
branding in the corner and everything.
Are we a little salty this morning? Are we a little
We?
salty?
What's this we shit? This is you, man.
You seem a little salty too.
Just the normal amount.
Just the normal amount of salt. Oh my goodness. Well, things are not working the way that I anticipated they would work today, which is about normal for ham radio and live streaming. So there it is. Morning, everybody. How's all y'all out there in the land? I need coffee.
In the
Excuse
land.
me.
The land of the woke, the wake, the awakening.
So where are we at this week, Stephen?
Physically?
Yeah, you still up north?
I am up north until tomorrow, and then I will be slightly less north, but still relatively north. Tomorrow morning. I'm getting up early and hitting the road and going to Iowa.
To Iowa. Okay.
Coming your way, Andy and Hank.
Oh, you're gonna hang out with the Iowa crowd.
Oh yeah,
That'll be
Jeremy.
fun.
If you're watching, I'll see you there too.
Sweet. Well, what are you guys? You guys got some POTUS planned or something like that?
No, we got an air conditioning install planned. That's even more fun.
I think you're
14-inch hole in my roof.
I think you're lying about fun. I think that may be a new 14-inch hole. Or are you replacing the old one?
Well, I will be taking a 14-inch hole that's got a 4-inch fan in it
Okay.
and replacing that with an air conditioner. I don't know why they ever thought it was a good idea to put a 4-inch fan into a 14-inch hole and call it an exhaust fan, but I mean it works.
So is that like an attic fan? Is that what that currently is?
Yeah, it's a skylight convection hole with a fan in it.
Okay, and a 4-inch fan.
Yeah, now they do make them where it's a 14-inch hole and it's got a 13 and a half inch, 13 and 3/4 inch fan in it and a shroud around it so the air can only go through the fan area.
Right.
But this one here mostly blows air and the rest of the hole just kind of looks at it and goes, whatever, dude, just give up.
I used to stay in base housing when I was active duty on Gunner Air Force Base here in Montgomery. And the houses are like World War II vintage, and they were stone, I guess. I'm not sure what they were made out of. Poured concrete, hell, I don't know. And so they were like in a duplex, and each duplex, I was married to she who cannot be named, and her 3 kids. So we had a 4-bedroom house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it
A
was
4-bedroom in a duplex format. Wow.
yeah,
A large duplex.
yeah. Well, think of a very long ranch house with 2 fairly large living areas in both. It was not small. And anyway, that's all irrelevant. The coolest part of that house was, besides which I wasn't paying for the electricity, it also had a attic fan in it. And when you turned it on, you had to duct tape the children to the floor. Otherwise, they would be slurped into the attic fan. That thing was,
Yes.
oh my God.
Well, that thing was what, 4 foot by 4 foot?
I was going to
and
say,
it
I
was
think it's
properly
about
ducted.
a
Yeah.
4-foot fan. Yeah.
Yeah.
You
And
turn
it
that
takes
thing
all
on,
of the heat out of the house and blows it into the attic. Yes.
woof. It's like, oh,
Those were great.
where's the small girl child? Whoops.
Yeah. Whole house fan. Yeah, that would cool your house down in a second.
And it's great because, I mean, I don't know, the air conditioner worked, but, it was great because you don't have to run the air conditioner. And I would love to have one on days when it's not 100 degrees outside, just to turn it on and ventilate with
older
the outside
houses
air.
used to be built smarter where you had double hung windows. So you pull the window down a little bit from the top to let the heat out and up a little bit from the bottom to let the cold air in. And you
Yeah.
had this sort of convection, and then they were built with opposing windows on each side of the house, so you got cross ventilation, and then you had the whole house attic fan, and they had higher ceilings, so the heat was up above your head instead of at head level, like all kinds of stuff. And now they build houses brand new. They're so ridiculously sealed, you have to add an air exchanger and run your electric bill up. That's smart.
It also
And
can
smell
cause
all
a-
your stink.
The stink is the issue always. I mean, I'm a ham. There's a certain amount of ham stink associated. Well,
You
the
can
other
afford a
thing
ham
is,
radio. You can afford deodorant.
Right. You just bought your FTX1 Optima and put down your reservation on the D750. Buy a speed stick, for the love of God.
Here you go.
Yeah. If y'all have never been to Hamvention, you should go because I thought it was fun. I enjoyed it.
It's awesome.
But I am telling you, our people, and I'm including everybody here, We are all hams.
Some
Our
of you
pe-
aren't wearing deodorant this morning. I know it.
Some of you are not passingly familiar with hygiene and deodorant.
Some people's kids.
Yeah, and I don't mean you specifically out there in the audience getting all chapped right now.
Not you, but you.
Yeah, that guy to the left. That's the one I'm talking about. Pop, please put on some deodorant. So it's quite a lot of people, and if you're in the buildings, right, any of the forum buildings or the vendor buildings, there's not really air in there very much, and you're packed in there like hog slaughterhouse. And bless your heart if you get stuck with somebody who is not not up on their personal hygiene. But it's still a great time. I enjoyed it.
I always tell people 1 in 3 hams stinks. If you look to your left and you look to your right, and I did that backwards on purpose, and neither of those 2 hams stink, then it's you.
Oh. Maybe get some deodorant. So I didn't have this at Hamvention, and I wish I did. But however, I'm prepared now for Orlando and Dayton for next year, and probably for mowing the grass. I scored this.
Oh, nice.
From our friend Patrick at gearforever.com.
The bucket hat.
The top right. Well, it's a boonie hat. And I could be all, insouciant and fold up a side or something like that. But the problem I was having, and I wasn't the only one, is my ears were getting kind of toasty. I think
they still are.
Ape's ears were kind of pink. So, yeah.
Joe Brett calling you out.
Joe Brett, I didn't want a pink one with unicorns on it, okay? I mean, you didn't tell me you had one. I don't remember that, Joe Brett. I think you're hallucinating. I did almost buy it was orange and yellow safety hat. But I was like, no, it's Saturday. I'm going home. I'm not going to wear an orange and yellow boonie hat. No, just no. But anyway, this is from our friend Patrick at gearforever.com.
Nice.
And I will put a link to his site in the show notes, but gearforever.com. Steve could type it in the chat if he would be so kind, and that would be awesome.
I can be. Let me go grab.
And this is a nice hat. This has, of course, a chin strap kind of thing, but this is a neat feature. It also has on the back of it a little thing to tighten up the headband, so it won't necessarily blow off, because Steve will tell you on Saturday, it was
windy.
It was windy. So I bought that from Patrick. This is the hat that I was wearing, which is the trucker style with the extra long bill, and it keeps the sun off your proboscis, but not off your ears. And then I got some other swag from Patrick that I wanted to share. So a mouse pad.
Alabama.
And also got
Alabama hammer.
A key fob kind of
Cool.
deal here. So I don't know how well that'll focus in on that thing. I need another
Wayne,
light
nobody
in
saw
there.
you sneak in late.
But you can get all that stuff from Patrick at gearforever.com. He has a wide selection of designs and hats and whatnot for men and ladies as well. So gearforever.com. Patrick, AI4NW. He's in the chat a lot of times on a lot of different shows. So keep an eye out. Go check him out. Good stuff. So I was under the impression that today was some sort of contest day. But apparently it's not like an official thing. It's like...
It's just getting started.
Yeah. So today is 5/25/25. And our friend Mike N2... My hair is crazy hair. Mike Hathead N2MAK was talking about this. So 6 meter appreciation day, or 6 meter whatever you want to do with it day kind of thing. And so we're going to try and do that. Now, because
waiting for you.
Because this is a live stream and nothing ever freaking works right on a live stream, for some reason I can't get the audio from the radio piped directly into the stream. It's going to come out of my speakers, which is awkward. So you'll hear it through my microphone, but yeah,
So our friend Gary says that 6 meters is always open, and the problem is that people aren't using it. So even if you
Okay.
do get on 6 meters and you call, there ain't nobody there listening because everybody's been told it's the magic band and it only works on certain days. And yes, some days it works really, really good, but it works every day depending on how much effort you put into making it work. So this 52.525 is the calling frequency for 6 meters, I
Yeah.
believe. I
Yeah.
could be wrong, but please correct me because, give you permission, then I don't feel bad when you do it anyway. 52.525 tune in, and then I guess next year it'll be 52.526
I
or
suppose
52.6. I don't know,
something like
but
that.
yeah, 52.525 is FM calling. 50.125 is USB calling. So
It's
you want to be
USB
on
calling.
FM and try making that call today.
Yeah, I'm switching back to FM now. And there we go. And let's turn on the volume. Oh, the volume's up on 100. I should probably turn that down. Okay. All right. So let me share that out. All right. So we are on FM 5225. Yep, should be good to go. Everything-
52525.
Yeah. Now, I don't know what kind of range we can expect on this. I'm not entirely sure how well that's going to work one way or the other.
Let's see if Joe Brett can hear you. How close is he?
Joe's about 220 miles, something like that. He's not real far away. This is on the wrong monitor. Let me throw a tune at this thing. Yeah. This is my DX Commander. This thing is like, you saw it tune. It
Yep, done.
didn't even really need tuning.
On a band you didn't cut it for. So Joe says he's already calling you and you can't hear him.
I can't hear a thing. And your audio got super soft.
Don't know, man.
Is it because your mic is like farther away from your head?
I have changed nothing since the show started, but it could be. It could also be the operating system getting in the way.
Well, that's entirely possible.
Because your operating system's smarter than you are now and likes to change things that you told it specifically not to.
CQ6, 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 Whiskey Tango 1 Whiskey, calling CQ 6 meter FM. CQ6, 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 Whiskey Tango 1 Whiskey.
Yeah, so macOS decided my mic was too hot and turned it down.
There you go. You're back now. Now I got to turn you back down on the mixer. Yeah, you disappeared. You were like here and then. So it's not just Windows, Steve.
Right.
All right, let me turn.
And Gray Man is saying that Mike is at Park US 6532 on 52.525, and Chuck is saying that SSB might have been better. We can switch to SSB later on, but
Yeah, we'll try that.
anybody in the Alabama area want to try and hit the Alabama hammer, call him up on 52.525.
CQ6, 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 Whiskey Tango 1 Whiskey, calling CQ 6 meter FM. CQ6, 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 Whiskey Tango 1 Whiskey. Standing by.
LC, you know me in Linux. I would have used Linux if it did all the things that I wanted it to do, but it don't.
Well, I have a different outlook on that. I mean, they all have their upsides and their downsides. And I know LC is going right now. He's shaking his fist at the screen going, Windows sucks. It has no upside.
I mean, I would be too, but I got to be professional on stream.
And Tio is holding it back right now.
I am.
Okay, Hollywood just completely shattered all our expectations. Too tall for 6 meters and is shooting the RF straight up like a vertical beverage.
I've heard people say that a lot. Your antenna's too tall, it winds up going straight up. It's just a cloud warmer.
I have a backup plan. Alexa, turn Kenwood on.
LC, I am not that kind of programmer. I appreciate that you think I have those talents, but I do not possess the talent to create video editing software for Linux. Well, I have the talent to do it. I just don't have the desire to do it. Let's make it... I could figure it out, and in 6 years we'd have a barely passable video editing software. Hank's saying the band is dead. Well, maybe we can bring some life into it, Hank.
I've got the 7200 over here, but it doesn't do FM on 6 meters, apparently.
Don't you have a 9700?
I do.
Yeah, and then you had that Kenwood you just turned on, too.
Well, the Kenwood was the name of the power supply. I never changed
Oh.
it when I had the TS2000. That's just what I told the Amazon device it was.
Slacker.
The 9700 doesn't do 6 meters, does it?
No, I guess it doesn't. The 7300 does. I don't know why I said that. Because it's, I'm thinking VHF, UHF, and FM.
Yeah, no. The 9700 doesn't do 6 meters at all. I was like, wait, what? John is saying we got an X-class flare. So we
Maybe John took it.
darn you, John.
LC, if they want to hire me, I would do it.
Yeah, LC was asking about this the other day in the Discord. And it's like they give you the Windows version for free. Marcus Roscosh, I think I got his name right, and I do not, DL1RE maybe is his call sign. I can't remember.
Rocinante.
Yeah,
Just call him Rossi.
Rossi. And he wrote a Mac version and an iOS version, so it'll work on iPad or I guess it'll work on your phone too if you wanted a screen that small. But it's a pay product. And Flex has said, you know, we have an open API. Anybody can write whatever they want. We'll share the API, but just no one has written a Linux version. So,
Well, I'd rather have Flex continue to work hard on making new radios. That Aurora just sounds awesome.
it does.
And if it wasn't too much radio for me, I'd probably get one.
Well, my first thought when it came out was, holy crap balls, that's expensive for a radio. And
Yeah, but then add all the things.
I slowed my roll and I went, wait a tick. All right, she's got a tuner and it's a 500 watt radio. So if you go look on Flex Radio right now,
It's like $6,100 or something.
the base model's $6,200, but if you go look up a PGXL amplifier and a PGXL tuner, new, you're north of $10,000. So $6,100, $6,200 for a 500 watt radio ain't bad. I mean, I was like, shoot, that's a good deal, actually. Now, if you pimp it all the way, and I don't know the levels of pimping, and we could go look at this, I guess, but there's like 4 versions of it, I think. And I think Jonathan was telling me that the top end version is about 10 grand total. So you're putting it in MP 101, 7851, 7760 territory.
And it has way more features than those radios do.
It does. It does. For one thing, and if you've never, and I don't want this to be a Flex commercial necessarily, I have bought my Flex. No one gave it to me. Although, hint, hint, Michael, I would totally field test an Aurora for months.
No one gives you anything for free, Jim. You just work for a different type of dollar.
Right.
There's no such thing as a free lunch.
The beauty about the Flex radio, like LC is saying, it is the radio. It has a 500 watt amplifier in it. It has a tuner, and you plug it straight into the wall. So no external power supply. So this is something that's honestly fairly compact. I mean, it's the size of, it's probably about 3 or 4 U tall, but it's not rack wide. It's, I don't know, 12, 14 inches wide maybe. So it'll stash, in a cabinet somewhere, under something, whatever. And since it's made to connect to over the network, you can put it where it's convenient to put an antenna instead of trying to put an antenna where the radio is at, kind of thing, which is what I've ended up doing, because I've got my antenna in a much more convenient place for me. and all the radio gear is out in my shop. So when I fire up the amp, I don't have to listen to the sound of the jet engine as it cools itself,
Right.
which is pretty nice. And the Aurora will be the same way. The Windows software, which is what we're looking at right now on the screen, is good software. I have no problem with it. Well, I lie. I have one problem with it, but it's an annoying little problem. Like what we're trying to do now, what we've been trying to do now, I cannot get the audio to route. So this thing will only send the audio to the default output in Windows, and I need it to run through a specific audio interface to come out on the stream. And I
was going to say, I wonder if that's a Windows problem.
but it wasn't working before the show. So anyway, but that's the only glitch I think that's in the software. Other than that, it works well, and you can do so much cool stuff with it. That it probably does everything that every other radio does, but the interface is so easy to use, and it's so easy to access all those controls that are individual knobs that require function button pushes and dark sacrifice to get to. So I really like the Flex setup. Ken, I thought about that, but I'm not set up with the Mac. I have a Mac back here. I'm not set up with the Mac to stream. It's not necessarily the operating system. The application will only route itself to the default output. And I think there's another setting in Windows I could tinker with, but it was like showtime, so I didn't want to monkey with it too much and then ended up screwing up all the show before the show started. It is worth trying on Mac for sure to see if I can do it the next time. Ham Live, thank you for the 1999 super chat. And
thank you, sir.
Glad you're here, man. Appreciate it a lot. Steve, you've gone so quiet. Am I talking too much, or are you and...
Take a breath, man. Take a breath.
Son, your audio is gone. You have zero audio.
Let's see if macOS got in the way again.
See your face moving. LC, you're asking about the M option. I have not looked at their website to discuss, to dissect all the options. But with the other models of Flex that I have seen, M indicates that it's going to have the panel on it, the screen, and it will have knobs, and you do not require a PC to use it. You can twiddle knobs and use the built-on screen. That's what the M option stands for in Flex nomenclature. You can also get a Maestro, which is their standalone panel that will hook up to your Flex over wired or Wi-Fi network. So, for example, with the Maestro box, and it's probably about 8 by 10 inches in area, and I don't know, a couple inches deep, and it will run off battery or wall power, and it can completely drive the Flex. So in my instance, for example, I could sit in my living room with the Maestro in my lap and drive the radio, talk on the radio, CW if I had a key plugged in, all that. Radio's out in the shop, 50 yards away. I'm in the living room driving the radio. And so, and it works the same way as the software, except obviously you've got knobs and buttons to twiddle. So no, you do not need a computer with the M option.
Which has then got a Windows computer built into the radio itself.
Right, Ken? Well,
yeah, you still can't hear me, Jim.
No basements in Alabama, at least not where I'm at.
Jim's having more audio trouble. I'll just talk over Jim the whole time. He'll never even know what I'm saying. This is perfect.
Good morning, Mr. Gendron. Yeah, he would sit out on the pool deck. So, Rick, I don't know. Yeah, if you go all in on new Flex, I kind of slow rolled my stuff, but I don't know if I'd say nice used car, but you could buy a car that actually started at least, yes. Tio, are you back yet?
It's you.
You can't hear me?
Oh, I can hear you fine. You can't hear me, and everybody in the stream can hear me. Jim's just completely oblivious.
He's hearing both of us in the UK,
Yeah.
but I don't hear
Hold up
you.
a sign. I'll give him that one finger sign, guys.
What? Oh.
Morning,
Huh.
Jonathan. It's not you, it's me. I say that
Well,
all the time,
StreamYard's
Corn.
right. Yeah, I'm not hearing you at all. Oh man, this thing has dorked up my.
Jim, turn your hearing aids up.
Okay, I hear you now. I did. What happened?
I told you to turn your hearing aids up, and then you could start hearing me.
That was weird.
I did nothing.
Huh. That morning,
Mike in the
he
chat.
lost his hearing on live. Yes, that's probably true.
A layer 8 problem, yes.
Share
Protein
the keyboard
interface
short.
issue.
Well, no, I was screwing with the audio again, and apparently StreamYard was offended. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I could hear me in my ears going through the mixer, but I didn't hear you at all. And then I thought you were screwing with me, son.
No more than usual. I mean, I don't have to screw with
Well,
you.
there you
These
go.
jokes just write themselves.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Appreciate that. Anyway, well, I'm not seeing anything on FM at all.
So the sideband calling frequency, what was that? 50.105 or something?
52.125?
Well, Joe Brett knows. Maybe he can tell us again.
Joe Brett, drop us the 411. Right, Hacks? More
50.125.
sacrifices.
I was right. I was right. Mike, we can't hear you. 75 a month for 48 months. What's the interest rate on that, Liberty? I don't pay interest. I pay taxes. I don't pay interest. What about 6-meter FT8? And that's apparently dead in Iowa, according to Hank.
Yeah, I've ever only made one or two 6-meter FT8 contacts back in the day when we were doing the FT8 off thing, and that was mostly random.
Jake is saying that 6-meter FT8 is dead in North Dakota. Apparently so is POTA. I think that's one of the states I need.
Yeah, I have screwed with the audio. Now I know why I wasn't hearing you. When I adjust the speaker volume on the computer, it's killing your audio too.
Well, that should be where I'm coming from, yeah.
Yeah, it never did that before. Don't screw with the audio.
Yeah, I need Alaska, South Dakota, and North Dakota in my hunted all states for POTA.
Oh, John's saying the muff is terrible, so let's look at that. Oh, I bet that's exactly part of the problem.
Is FT8 easy on the 705? I guess it depends on your definition of easy. You press the FT8 settings button, you plug in the USB cable, and the rest is ham radio stuff because the 705 is set up. Which is to say that the rest of the stuff is hard.
Profile in it, doesn't it?
It does, and I need to actually do some documentation on that. Now, you can go all kinds of crazy with Bluetooth cat control and Wi-Fi audio, or you just plug in a cable.
All right, kill that. And here is the muff this morning. Whoa, yeah. 20. So if you don't know what the muff is, we've talked about this before on various streams.
Because we like saying muff.
I just like saying muff, I do. I worship the muff. This is the maximum usable frequency. And that's what this chart is showing. So what this is showing me is that 6 meters is dead as fried chicken for me down here in most of the United States. Yeah, and this is the frequency in megahertz. This is not a band. Obviously, there's not a 29-meter band, but so this will change throughout the day. And this website let me drop this in the chat. Will update. It updates fairly regular during the day to show you what the muff is. So, yeah, this is probably a lost cause with 6 meters.
If you want to share that tab out below that I just gave you.
Yeah, let me do that. Oh, wait, remove, add. Stupid.
So this is our friend PSK reporter, and this is telling me that there is 6 meter traffic, and somebody made a contact all the way over to Moscow on 6 meters in the last 15 minutes from somewhere in the U.S. Does it say?
You'd have to roll that map in and zoom if you could find.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Moscow contact. Look in the lower left corner. KO95LL is the Moscow grid square, but I'm not seeing the other side of the contact. Let's.
John dropped his tithe this morning, so John is right with us this morning.
Thank you, John.
Appreciate it, brother.
So yeah, real close. That's my area. Geez, maybe I should like plug a radio in and pray. Because that line coming down the top of the screen is the one from Moscow. So somebody in the Minneapolis Twin Cities area got a contact to Moscow. But I mean, it's working. This is the intra-US traffic. Oh, it's Mike. All this traffic coming out of the Connecticut, New York area.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, there is a lot of traffic coming out of Connecticut. Somebody's having fun. Look at all this guy here. Just north of Waterbury. North of Bristol.
Well, I would guess that N2MAK is getting busy on
I believe he's in New York, though, isn't he?
He lives in New York. I don't know where he's located this morning.
Yeah, but this is a nice traffic report down to Florida. Lots of traffic in Florida.
So what mode is that? Is that FT8 or FM?
This is just FT8 on 6 meters, but this is everybody in the United States.
All right. Well, we'll try that.
Who's doing signal reports.
Let's fire up FT8. That. Move that out of the way. Turn that back on. Yeah, I've got all of the 6 meter band, well, a lot of the 6 meter band up here on the display, and there's just nothing out there for me. Showing up.
Sean has dropped a $1.99 super chat. Sometimes Muff gets in the way.
Yeah.
Yes, I can agree with that.
It can cause problems, and they can be expensive problems. I'm just saying, All right, FT8.
There is a special device you can get to make the muff problems amplified. Amplify the muff. It's round, usually made of gold.
Right. Okay. And then we're going to share. Let's stop that. And share that one out. Add to stage. Oh, good Lord.
A call. KC9 LFD EN53. Where's EN53? Now I need my grid round map. My grid sphere map.
I want to get that book that Vince talks about, because that looks incredibly interesting. And it has all that stuff in it.
EN53 is near me, because I'm in EN35 right now. Yeah, it's over on the eastern side of Wisconsin. So it covers the Dells down to Milwaukee and Madison. So you're hearing somebody in Wisconsin, Jim.
Yeah. I don't know if this is me yet, but we're trying.
Well, you were trying to switch antennas earlier. Did that ever get landed?
Oh, I only have one antenna on this. I have the Poseidon on this 7200, and I heard nothing on it. I
Okay.
wasn't switching antennas. I was switching radios. I've got this guy on. Let me put him on the USB calling frequency. What was that, 50.125?
Yes.
Unfortunately, this radio isn't anywhere where I can put it on camera.
And that's your 7200 now?
Yeah.
Jim got this awesome camo 7200. That was a hell of an exchange. Mike bought it, handed it to Jim.
Pretty much. Mike bought
Yeah.
it because he knew I kind of wanted one because they look cool.
Especially when they got the paint job on them, the aftermarket paint job.
Right. Yeah, that's picking up the... I'll turn that down for now while I'm trying FT8.
Yeah. I can hear the FT8 signal coming through, but you were getting a crackle.
Yeah, that's the Flex FT8 at 80 watts coming in the USB part of the 7200. I think he left. Let me just try calling CQ. I don't see anybody on here.
Yeah, I don't know. You would have decoded him every time you lost him. How much power are you putting out?
All of it.
All 1500 watts?
No. I don't want to burn my shop down.
Right.
Let me... Well, no, that's fine. Actually, yeah, let me do that. Let's get rid of that. Share screen again. Share entire screen. Go. Add. There we go.
Oh, wow. Jim does like the outdoors. Look at that pretty scene.
It updates every day with a different nature picture. Get that off the screen.
Look at those individual FT8 signals.
Yeah, I'm
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people FT8ing.
I'm just not seeing
Various
anything.
levels of amplification.
I ain't seeing nothing.
Or was that you transmitting? That was you transmitting on 6 frequencies at once. Okay.
I'm a little confused about that. Now I'm zoomed way in on the thing.
You should see one steady
Well,
stream of information coming from you. And if you're zoomed in far enough, you actually can see the signal transitions. And if, you could possibly even decode it. So you get into transmit mode here. Oh, yep. There you go.
Well, how is it transmitting on 6 frequencies at one time? I don't dispute
don't
you,
know.
but...
I mean, clearly that doesn't happen unless you're transmitting.
Oh, I know.
Where's your ALC reader on your radio?
Yeah, I don't know on this thing. Excuse me. My sinuses are killing me today.
Yeah. Man, if they can't hear you on all 6 signals, yeah, your ALC is too high.
All right.
So on your WSATX screen, the power slider on the right, just drop it down. And next time you transmit, see if it gets any better. That's better.
Yeah.
Now we know what frequency you're on. And so this is where that power slider on the WSATX software is wrong. It's the volume from your computer to your radio. And when you're shouting into the radio, the ALC circuit clamps off that, and it actually cuts the top and the bottom, but then your signal goes spurious. So you back that down, and now Jim's sending out a single message, and so he's actually technically putting more power into the wire.
And see, I have never noticed that before, but I don't know that I've ever been zoomed in this far. But that does look a lot better, and I'm pushing about 90 watts.
and then Nerdy Jedi is telling you to turn your RF gain up on your radio. And this is your AGC. This should be the other direction. This is your radio shouting at your computer. So you need to turn that up. Maybe you'll get more signal into the computer, maybe you won't, but you can see this on the green slider on the left-hand side of your WSJTX screen, and you want to get that somewhere up when signals are coming at you, somewhere in the 60 to 70 range, just below red. And so you're at 40 dB of incoming signal, so your RF gain on your radio needs to be turned up.
Well, I did.
Or your volume on your radio if you have such a control. This is you transmitting? Yeah, you're transmitting right now. That's interesting. There you go.
Splattering. That's what that was.
Yeah, Hacks, AGC on fast will work for you. That just means that it gets it done as quick as possible and then gets out of the way. Really, ideally, you want no AGC, and you want to control that with your volume control. Because what's happening is the other signals are shouting at your computer now, and your radio is clamping that down to give you a cleaner signal to your ears, your computer ears. But there's a time where that comes in really loud and then gets clamped. And if you want to FT8 to the max, then you want to have AGC turned off. Yeah, every single filter should go off for FT8 work. The only thing I would suggest on a flex, because you can do it, is I would put Michael calls it a moat, where you can put a notch filter on the lower side and a notch filter on the higher side, so you can't hear anything except for the 3 kilohertz of FT8 frequency. I don't know how to do it because I don't have a flex yet. It's on the list.
That's what I'm doing right now.
After seeing Michael talk at Hamvention, like, the guy knows his stuff, so I'm more inclined to go with somebody who knows what they're talking about.
Just move. I don't need you to get smaller. I just want you to scooch in.
It's the other key. And so now if somebody's talking wide, right above 50.313 or whatever it is for FT8 on 6 meters, you won't hear them.
And then the other thing you can do with this is you can set the level of this. So there's 3 basic levels: normal, deep, very deep. And
very deep.
We like it very deep. And this is
it and be able to are two different things.
Right. What I can get versus what I'd like, not the same thing. So This is what they call tunable notch filters. And this is great for a lot of things, because if you're trying to have a QSO like you're hunting POTA, which I do, and you got some yachts that's less than 3 away, depending on what side he's on, drop one of these in there, crank it up to the maximum, and he's gone. And then the beauty of these too is you can make these things super narrow. So when you have some jackass that's POTA tuning over and over and over and over, you just drop it right on top of his head. Boom, he's gone, and then you can make your QSO. It's great. Joe said he can hear a signal or two, but at least one of them is off time.
Yeah, he was saying it was you. He's trying to say your timing in sync, son. He was just trying to be polite about it.
Joe Brett. Mm-hmm. My time is exact because I just checked. Joe. I'm off by 0.039 seconds, which is close enough for ham. So I think FT8 is a wash. Now there are 2 FT8 frequencies in here. Let's halt you.
Yeah, there are, and I don't know enough about 6 meters to know why.
Yeah, I don't know either. So let's flip over to that one and see if we see anything. 50.313 and 50.323, something like that.
It'll say it in the drop down.
Well, yeah, it does. That's what I was saying. Yeah, Joe Brett, you're right.
So John's asking, what software is better, Flex or Thetis? And I don't know. Can you run Thetis and connect to your Flex?
I don't know.
I thought that was
Can
not
I download
flexible.
Thetis? I don't even know.
I believe you can. It works with the Hermes Lite and it works with some other radios.
So Flex will tell you, as they told LC, that you can. Flex has an open API, so it's possible if Thetis has written their software to do the thing. It's possible. I have no idea. I've never looked at the software because I don't have a Hermes Lite or one of those other radios. So.
If their website says anything. Goes to GitHub.
Ed is saying one is DX outside of the US, 3 is for US FT8. Okay. Thanks, Ed. I haven't seen anybody else. Thetis, not Cletus, Lee.
Or Thetis. I don't know. I don't speak Greek.
Yeah, I don't know. Doc Brad. Make a note in his record, Stephen. He's late.
Is he late?
He's late. Shush. My watch decided to... Yeah, I don't know if they're interchangeable or not, John. I know Chuck likes Thetis. He thinks it's cool. He's played.
So
with
it's
it
only
before.
the Apache Labs Anon and the Hermes Lite
Okay.
radios that it supports. So no Flex at this time. At this time.
At this time. Doc, I think Jonathan did. Boston Jonathan. But I don't even know if it's out yet. I know he ordered it. I don't know when he's going to get it.
He got the pre-order.
Yeah.
That way he can make a video about how they gave it away at Dayton, even though he had a pre-order.
No, he's not. Jonathan ain't going to make no video.
No.
But so anyway, I don't know. I'm kind of underimpressed with 6 meters. Let me shut down. Well, it's not transmitting now, so let's see.
So according to Hollywood, it'd be better if you had a better antenna.
Well,
And not that
I got what I got.
Yeah. Not that the DX Commander's a bad antenna. It's just not a 6-meter antenna to begin with. So sometimes a tuner doesn't always solve the problem.
I'm going to try it on 50.125 USB. This is with the Poseidon and the 7200. Let me see what my juice is set to.
Watch Joe Brett hear you right away.
Whiskey Tango 1 Whiskey, Whiskey Tango 1 Whiskey, calling CQ, CQ, CQ6, Whiskey Tango 1 Whiskey, calling CQ6, standing by.
All the hams that think it can only be done one way just turned over in their graves. Jim calling CQ backwards.
I'm
It doesn't
identifying. I'm said CQ, and I gave.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, whatever. Kurt Collins, thank you for your tithe, my friend. I appreciate it very much. $2 super chat. Kurt, we dance, but I don't want to screw with the audio anymore today. We've already gotten the audio gods a little chapped, I think. CQ6, 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 Whiskey Tango 1 Whiskey, calling CQ 6 meters. CQ, 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 CQ6, CQ6, Whiskey Tango 1 Whiskey, calling CQ 6 meters, standing by. Bupkis. I'll probably leave that on there all day.
See if you hear anybody.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? Let's, have you still got PSK Reporter up?
I do not.
All right, well, let me grab mine then.
See if you got spotted. See if he's got
Yeah.
heard.
Just curious. Oh, I am zoomed way in. All right. Stop. Screen. Oh boy, I don't like these changes they made. So annoying. Share. Okay. Bot. In Alabama. Dothan, 85 miles away.
Well, you got heard. That matters. This was something that always bugged me about FT8 at
But
first.
that-
Like, you can hear me. Why don't you work me? Because the dude's at church. He's not near his radio. His radio is just on and reporting. It's okay. Just say thank you.
This proves that Hollywood, once again, is smarter than the rest of us because 85 miles.
Yep.
So, NVIS
Vert
like
to vert.
crazy. Yeah. NVIS like crazy.
Well, a 6-meter dipole would be really easy to make, too.
Yeah, it would be. Is the Apollo antenna any good for 6? It ought to be, right?
With a tuner. I mean, it's an unfed half wave, so it's 40, 20, 15, and 10.
Yeah, I got a tuna. I got the finest kind tuna.
So it's a 5 foot on both sides for the dipole. And then
And so half a wavelength is 3 meters, which is about 9 feet.
10
feet
feet
up.
in the air. Yeah, 9.8. So 10 feet in the air and 5 feet
Doable.
on each side.
Doable.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Joe Brett. What can I do for you? Actually, you know what? We got one other thing we can do. I just thought about it. I got remote ham radio. Let's remote ham radio and see what we can get off of a real station and not my...
With a 6-meter Yagi on a rotator.
If they're not already tied up.
Pointed right at Joe Brett.
I'm gonna. All right, get out of there. Yes,
Light his hair on fire.
Close. Get away. Go. Don't want you no more. You're not my favorite. Remote ham radio. Oh, it even remembered my login. That's awesome. All right. Let's embiggen you. Let's share you. Aloysius, thank you. 6-meter prayers.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Haha, right, Matt? They've seen it alive, but I find it hard to believe. That's right. Elvis ain't dead, Matt. He just went home. If you remember what movie that is. Wow, let's see. 6 meters. Who's got a 6-meter antenna? You do. Connect.
Yeah, Elvis would be 90 years old today if he was still alive. Or he would be 90 years old today because he's still alive.
All
It's
right,
possible.
let's see.
I bet he's still shaking them hips, too.
First of all, so I can think.
My YouTube chat died again.
Go to sideband.
How is your Poseidon done? Is it a sloper? Is it a vertical?
It's vertical-ish, mostly. I mean, it's like, I don't know, 6 to 8 degrees off perfectly vertical because the magnolia tree.
Yeah.
Right, Men in Black, that is correct. Okay, so let's aim this bad boy. K5 YVY. Go.
So your software will automatically figure out where he is
Yeah, it does
and
call
then
lookup, and then it's going to aim
rotate.
the antenna toward where his registered address is.
See, this is one of the cool things about it, and you can see that pink blob that's moving on the screen. That's actually where that antenna thinks its ears and its signal go to the best. And this is one of the things I like about it. This is like the most advanced thing you can do in ham radio right now. JKDO 498 says from EM30 he just worked DM41, 1069 miles away. So DM is like Arizona area and EM is north of that.
I'm
And I'd say
I'm EM62 here.
yeah. So northeast. So you're in a station in New Jersey, is that right?
New York.
New York? Beaming south, right over Joe Brett's head.
Yep. There's a station in Atlanta too, but I don't know if they do 6. Well, yeah, it says all bands. So we might try Atlanta next if Joseph can't hear me. Let me turn up the volume.
Dave says he spent 30 minutes talking to himself in EM84. That's the best kind of conversation to have, unless you're arguing with yourself.
Whiskey Tango 1 Whiskey, Whiskey Tango 1 Whiskey, calling CQ 6 meters, CQ 6, CQ 6, Whiskey Tango 1 Whiskey, calling CQ 6, standing by.
Yeah, LC with 2 pieces of copper pipe, you don't even need any type of support. That'd be a nice dipole, self-supporting dipole.
That's cool.
I have the setup. I should do it with my 17-foot whips and my mirror mounts. Nothing both ways. Joe Brett can't hear you. What antenna are you running, Joe Brett?
CQ K5YVY, Whiskey Tango 1 Whiskey, K5YVY from Whiskey Tango 1 Whiskey. CQ, 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 K5YVY from Whiskey Tango 1 Whiskey.
John's asking if that's USB or FM. That should be USB.
I'm on USB. Joe, are you upper sideband or you USB?
You gave him an or, which was a both.
Titan.
I know what you meant.
Titan. Titian was an artist. Bringing some culture. Jimmy, thank you for being a member. Appreciate it, buddy. All right. Well, let's see if I can do
turn
FM
that,
from
rotate
here.
that beam towards Arizona, because apparently there are people in Arizona listening.
Okay.
And Jimmy says he got EM10 to DM33. He's in EM10, which would be, as a guess, somewhere near New York. Much more near New York than you are in your EM50 something. You said.
I mean EM62.
EM62, yeah. So he's 48 above you. EM10 is Central Texas.
CQ6.
Oh, I screwed that up, Jimmy.
CQ6, CQ6, CQ6. Whiskey Tango 1 Whiskey calling CQ6, CQ6. Whiskey Tango 1 Whiskey calling CQ6, standing by. Let's try FM. What is it? 52525?
Yep. Marvin's asking what website this is. This is Remote Ham Radio. And
yeah, this is actually an app. I think you can run it from the website, but they have an app you download and it connects up.
Yeah, for mere pennies per second, you can have the best operating station on the world. On the world. In the world.
FT8, not phone. Okay.
It's technically still on.
Let's see. I would like to make a voice contact. Hi, SWR. Okay.
I think Mike should expand that to like every day in March. Every day in May, sorry. Every day in May is 6 meter
It
day.
does not like doing FM. Every time I key up, it complains.
Marvin, that was the joke. You got it. You got it directly there. Pennies per second sounds like gallons per mile. It is expensive.
Whiskey calling CQ6, CQ6, CQ6. Whiskey Tango 1 Whiskey calling CQ6 meter FM. Standing by.
But it is fairly amazing. You can tell it which call sign you want to work. You can see it in the DX cluster list. You can click on it. It will automatically pick the proper antenna, rotate that antenna to where that station is transmitting from, get you on frequency, and then you can call up, and then it'll log it for you, and it'll upload it to Logbook of the World.
CQ6 FM, CQ6 FM, CQ6 FM. Whiskey Tango 1 Whiskey calling CQ6 meters. CQ6, CQ6, CQ6. Whiskey Tango 1 Whiskey calling CQ6. Standing by. I'm going to... Uh-oh, somebody... That's just squelch breaking. I turned the squelch down.
I was going to say 20 sounded high. But I don't use this radio, so I don't know like where the threshold is. On my ICOM, it's 30. Goes silent.
All right, we're going to DC from this one because I ain't heard nothing. And let's go to Atlanta and fire this mother up. QRO. And we're going to change this one to K5YVY. Don't give up on us, Joe. Don't give up on us, baby. And while that's turning, 6 meter sideband, 52.525. So this is, where does it say what antenna we got here? I don't really see it. All right. Whiskey Tango 1 Whiskey to K5YVY, KV5YVY, Whiskey Tango 1 Whiskey. K5YVY.
K5YVY.
Oh. Yeah, 52 is the FM. My bad. Let me go to 50. Good catch. Thank you, Hank. Joe, I changed to USB. Go to 50.125. Right, LC? I would have thought I would have heard other people. CQ6, 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 Whiskey Tango 1 Whiskey calling CQ6. Whiskey Tango 1 Whiskey, CQ6, 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 standing by. I'm on sideband now, Ken. 50.125. I'll change to FM in a minute. Man, I don't hear nothing. CQ6, 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 Whiskey Tango 1 Whiskey calling CQ6 meters. CQ6, 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 Whiskey Tango 1 Whiskey calling CQ on 6 meters, standing by. I may hear somebody, but I mean, man, they are in the sauce. Nothing.
It's hard.
All right, Joe Brett, I'm trying FM. Yeah, James, I think it's a flex at all these stations.
Yeah, they started out with Elecraft, then they moved to Flex.
All right, here we go. K5YVY, K5YVY from Whiskey Tango 1 Whiskey. K5YVY, Whiskey Tango 1 Whiskey. I just turned the squelch off if I hear anything. Let me see if I even hear myself.
Oh, that would be an excellent choice, yeah.
Yeah, this radio doesn't do FM apparently. I'll have to try it on USB again, but K5YVY, K5YVY, Whiskey Tango 1 Whiskey. K5YVY, Whiskey Tango 1 Whiskey. Make sure it's in the ON mode, Joe. Nothing. All right. I'm going to turn up my 7200. Turn that down. CQ6, CQ6, CQ6. Whiskey Tango 1 Whiskey, calling CQ 6 meters. Whiskey Tango 1 Whiskey, calling CQ 6 meters. Standing by. Nothing. So, yeah. All right. Well, so much for that. No good plan survives
That's
first
weird.
contact. Yeah, I don't know.
It happens. I guess it is magic. I'm gonna have to have words with Gary.
Well, I'm gonna mess around with it later today some more. This afternoon maybe. Joe Brett said 6 is tough in the morning. I need to ping Gary in the Discord because he's like a 6 meter nerd. Because isn't he like in some sort of club they do that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Every day he's making contacts on 6 and sharing out results and stuff.
Yeah, Joe Brett said nothing. We can try Gray Line this evening maybe. That's not a bad plan, Joe. Yep. I'll probably leave it on. I'll probably leave this thing on the sideband when the 7200 doesn't do FM apparently, so it'll be on the sideband calling frequency all day. I'll leave it on where I can actually hear it.
There you go.
Guys, no plan survives first contact because the enemy makes plans too, and in this case, it's the radio gods, and they decided to smite us this morning.
I think you need to pray harder, Jim.
Right. We need more tithes because more tithes will make the radio gods happier, and then things.
See, now you sound like a preacher.
Better. That's kind of the idea, right?
It
works for
pass
them.
Pass the plate.
Pass the plate, my friends.
Remember
right.
Jim and Tammy?
Lord, yes. My grandpa used to watch them all the time. I knew
It's
they
all
were
about the
scammers back in the day.
All about the passing the plate.
Couldn't tell grandpa that was politically incorrect, but
yeah, we just had a different kind of politically incorrect back then.
Right. Tio, what are you up to? What's going on with you today besides the moving thing?
Well, the moving thing is the big deal, and then Hayden and I are working All Star later today.
Okay.
There's this trick you can do with the Sovereign USB key fob thing, and you can kind of snake a wire underneath the CM108 chip on there and attach it and put on this and that and the other thing and turn it into a useful driver thing. It's a pain in the butt, and I tried it a couple of times, and it's just, eh. So we're gonna get it done.
So that sounds like the sizzle is not worth the steak, possibly.
But I mean, it's going to be a show where we talk about it
Right.
and we get on All Star and we make contact. So that sizzle is worth it. And then Monday night on Nuggets, my friend Ronnie sent in this radio here, the TYT UV8000E. So we're gonna play with it. We're gonna evaluate it real time, and then I'm gonna give it away.
Cool. Dave, thank you for the $2 super chat. Talk to your family, David. I mean, I know that's radical advice, but talk to your family.
Nah, go POTA. Talk to strangers.
Go POTA. Go in the Radio Shack and POTA hunt if you don't want to POTA.
Sleep in.
I mean, a wise man once told me, Jim, if you can't be an athlete, you should be an athletic supporter. So, you know. LC, thank you for the $6 super chat. Appreciate it, my
We
friend.
tried. We tried real hard.
Chuck,
Jeff, I don't blame you.
exactly right. 14 likes and 103 watching. Come on, people. We can do better. Let's see.
We're hams.
Ham harder, but super chat found it offensive. Who knows? Weird. Jeff don't want to talk to his family. And Jordan, thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate it. Jordan and everybody, if you are a member, you know this. And if you're a newish member, you may not know this.
New
We
members.
We have a members only Zoom call once a month, typically the second Wednesday of the month. And we do that for about an hour, and it's just free form. We talk about radio or things that aren't radio or whatever. And I will post that message, will come up in the YouTube members only community tab. And if you're a Patreon member, because some of you joined via Patreon, it comes up in the members only Patreon community tab as well. And once I go cross-reference them all, you will have access to the FEP Labs private chat in the Toads Discord. And Steve, would you be so kind as to post a link to the Toads Discord, because my slacker ass did not do that this morning. I know.
See if
right?
you have it in the description so I can copy it out. No.
No.
We go to one of my videos where I have
Thank
it
you.
in every single one of them,
Steve, you complete me.
and then I'll copy it out, and then
You
I'll
co-
paste it into your
I
stream.
I can't make a heart. You complete me, Steve.
Let me get back over there. Here we go.
Testing session
Ta-da.
tomorrow night. John is correct.
It is.
Will be, is that Toads? That's KO4AFL's right thing, right?
Yes, it's Toads. KO4AFL is a member of Toads, so we won't talk about the other ham radio clubs that he's a member of, because I'm sure he's a member of more than one club.
Right.
But y'all can get tested tomorrow, and then we can celebrate it on Nuggets.
Yep. And we do testing. We have the scheduled testing, which is unfortunately on Monday night, so Tio and I are kind of out for.
Well, it's Monday before the show, before the stream. So we could.
It's at 5 o'clock Central Time, right?
I don't know off the top of my head. Let me see if it's in
5
my
or
notes.
6. I think it's at 5 Central, 6 Eastern, which means I'm driving home from work, so I'm kind of
Yeah,
out of pocket at that time.
work.
Yeah.
That's a 4-letter word.
Isn't it indeed?
It says 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. on Mondays.
Yeah, on James, I do. I will talk privately. I mean, you know, there's a per minute fee for that
Done.
sort of thing, and
Yeah.
I have limitations.
Yeah, Dave, it's online testing.
No, hit me up in there. We can talk about whatever you need in Discord. And I talk to people on the phone occasionally. I mean, I love all of you, like you're good buddies and everything. But let's be honest, there's a limit to how much I can yak on the phone about ham radio and not incur the wrath of Mrs.
The voices in your head? Oh,
Yeah, the voices in my head. That's right. Freedom is not free. And Grouch, thank you for bringing that up. This is Memorial Day weekend. Memorial Day is a holiday created for us to remember those who made the ultimate sacrifice
the fallen soldiers.
for
Yes,
this
sir.
country, the fallen soldiers. So if you go to most cemeteries of any size, there will typically be a service, and they will put flags on the graves of all veterans. Where I grew up in Kankakee, it was a huge thing at the cemetery there in town. The veterans who fell in combat had like flagpoles raised all around with their names on them, and any veterans, they put flags on the graves of all the veterans who were out there. So my dad had a flag on his grave. But anyway, freedom is not free, and some people paid a high price for that. And with that, I'm going to hit the button. Thank you all very much for being here. We will see
Namaste.
you guys next week. Button engaged.